Hello there, folks. Welcome on back inside the BTS offices where we are bringing you the English coverage of the Mars TV Dota League. Only tournament happening in space and on Mars, and the only tournament in Mars that features Dota 2. Everyone else playing League of Legends 4. Crazy, right? Anyways,
Maybe then they will have replays.
Maybe. Don't push it. Game number 2 is about to happen. It's OG versus Newbee, and it's Newbee taking down OG in game 1. Dare I say, convincingly.
Yep.
Or what is it daring to say that, guys, or was it convincingly?
It was a nice game plan. Well,
Yeah.
They had some issues early on with the mid lane. We saw those kind of disastrous rotations early on. I feel like OG read that pretty well, but then you really saw the Queen of Pain versus Invoker matchup, and the Invoker's weaknesses being strung out quite a bit by Newbee. They just kept running at him, and they were able to hold their objectives. Shadow Shaman never really got a chance to get out and try and so push. Death Ball never materialized. The lone turret didn't come line. It felt early enough to make a difference, and so
yeah,
Newbee will take that one.
Was not a bog, it was lit. We'll leave it at that.
They had the beat, just not the...
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Oh,
you get it. Probably our best joke for this game.
oh, I'm glad you explained that because I did not get it after Dakota. I was just confused. I was
You're
like,
not even there. It only goes down from here.
Maybe it was more of an OG, because you know they always got the OG. We're missing the B.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Speaking of B band, Bristleback first one going to be removed. Faceless Void, Drought, Death Prophet. First phase, Visage! There it is. Man, I wanted to finish that statement a bit faster, but man, they just, do you think Newbee really love Visage or really love the idea of OG not having Visage?
It's the double whammy, they love both.
It is. I think they did this, they didn't do this during the group stage, but did this during Manila Masters, I believe, the last time they played against them
DAC?
as well.
There was a
Just
lot of
taking away the
OG
Visage early on and giving that to Faith. And Faith played it pretty well last game. Again, since he's usually a 5-position player, for him to have that Ags up fairly early, plus the crest, and then just have him run around to fights. He had to be careful because he was fighting before he had Soul Assumption, not to a few deaths. But once he had the Soul Assumption up, again, this hero can pump out a tremendous amount of damage for that 5. And though not naturally that mobile, the Grave Chill is also in those small skirmishes provides a huge amount of movement speed and takes away as well. So I think it's, in terms of the value of taking it away from OG and how well it was used last game in conjunction with their strategy, I think it was a pretty good fit for them with the Lycan synergy as well. So
it was banned last time, right? The Earth Spirit? I think it was first phase banned.
I think it was banned.
So Newbee changed up their bans and OG take the opening to get Jarek's his Earth Spirit. Now, we were spoiled earlier in Afu's Earth Spirit, which I gotta say was pretty damn good. But I always boast that Jarek's is the best Earth Spirit on the planet, so today settles it. Whoever pulls out the best Earth Spirit game today is officially the best, guys. I have made that rule.
Seems like a small sample size to me, Dakota.
I mean, well, this is MDL. Mars, this is Mars, the best on Mars. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Na'Vi, aren't they? They're going to be the intergalactic champions?
Yeah, just not of this galaxy subdivision, I guess.
Okay. This Puck pick, I feel like a bit of a block pick, since Newbee like to pick it up early, and typically it's run by KP, but there is always that flexibility. They're happy to run it without the Drow Ranger. We saw last game the Puck run very effectively in the third pick, but this time OG will grab it themselves.
It's also a signature, S4 hero, and then you see these two picked together quite a bit. I think they feel there's some synergy there, and then the next coming out from Newbee, which just generally good against, definitely good against Puck. Also good against some of the heroes that they may ultimately want to take. If you're talking about something like a Queen of Pain, those kind of mid snowbally int heroes, discourages OG from taking something like that. Also, potentially if they want to go for Invoker again while enabling it for themselves, makes it a bit more comfortable for themselves. So Nyx is also a pretty good general pick that we see quite a bit, and could very well, I think it's most likely going to be a 4 from Kaka as well.
Yeah, he definitely cuts the hero pool. Ana, even Ember wouldn't be an option, or a decent option also. CK's got to go. I feel like OG's now always been receiving the CK ban ever since they were pulling it out earlier in the tournament. Now will probably be a trend that does continue in the second phase. OG ban out the Tidehunter here. Feels a little early for a Tidehunter ban.
10 seconds remaining.
Or maybe they're just giving a lot of respect to Newbee's Tidehunter play.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, they will take Tide fairly early on, or pretty confidently will Newbee as one of KP's comfort heroes, and a hero that other teams also didn't pick for a while in recent patches until like Newbee was taking essentially right as soon as 05 or 06 came out, and they've kind of stuck to that.
Yep.
So.
I feel like we're seeing KP kind of ahead of the meta in some of his offlane picks. The Tidehunter, even the Unboard was something he was playing before other offlaners were picking it up. So we are seeing a lot of versatility and out of his role specifically. Even if he sticks to the few same heroes, it's heroes that like will kind of be ahead of what other offlaners are playing.
Now, Underlord, that was a hero they ran at Galaxy Battles. It picked up a lot of steam in SCA, and then the Newbee began to use it a bit as well. When that hero first really hit the scene, I guess it was around the time of China Top last year, and I think EG was picking him quite a bit, and then he got nerfed a little bit, kind of disappeared, and has come back some as well. But in terms of like a hero, you wouldn't think of him normally as a mobile hero, but he is able to get across the map and bring the team quickly. So if it's a split push situation, if it's you quickly need to switch gears and defend or fight somewhere, the hero actually offers that, which is very rare for like any other hero, any other kind of like strengthy frontline hero to be offering in terms of mobility. So it's a rare combination, and then of course the holding towers as well. And then mainly I think it's just about his like durability or his viability in lane. Like in a tougher offlane patch or before the changes, or when his Firestorm was kind of nerfed, it'd be a little bit harder for him to mix it up in lane, but he feels a little bit more viable and sustainable now. We've talked a lot about the Underlord. We don't even know if he's coming, but
wow, look at the meta and picks continue to change up. I was already thinking to myself quite a bit on how the 4s have changed up a bit. We're seeing Earth Spear come back into action here, Nyx Assassin, while your Clockworks and Night Stalkers are just kind of fizzling away a bit. And look at this, another breath of fresh air, if you will, at least at recent times. Vengeful Spirit coming out. Now, I imagine a core, but like maybe could be a 5 as well.
Fly loves this hero. This was like the old OG days. If you go back to like the original roster, it was always these double defensive supports. They'd have like a Phoenix with a Venge or a Dazzle. It was always about these supports who had save and could protect their carries. Venge was one of the big ones that they did run, but OG also a team who like to have these fighting, tempo controlling carries, the kind of no-tail classic, and that is kind of what Venge can do as well. So kind of, we'll keep Newbee as well as us casters guessing as to where this hero is headed.
Yeah, certainly good flexibility there. Newbee side? Still was thinking about some of the KP options. I don't know if they'll commit it for their 3rd pick yet or not. Tidehunter taken out recently. I was thinking Faceless Void, but I noticed now it was banned. But outside of that,
I was thinking they might go for the Enigma, but the Venge makes that less appealing because you've got the swap now. That's always been like one of KP's classic heroes as well. Batrider becomes good with the Nyx, but again, Venge protects you from that. Venge actually protects you from a lot of these KP heroes. Look up to Sven for now.
No concern at all, just grabbing the Sven here now as a 3rd pick and still continuing to preserve KP's grab? Or is there something that says that this shouldn't be too much trouble for a Sven in this game?
Theoretically, it could be tough.
You have the armor, you have the kind of like there's a lot of lockdown on the side of Newbee, like potentially, you know, with good bird micro or with the Nyx, like you can hold them in place for a very long time for the Sven to be able to cleave them to death. And so I think it's an interesting pick, and then it's just a good solid general pick. Like if you're counting on a lot of burst damage as a OGR for taking down targets, like the Sven has the HP to be able to tank his way through that for the most part. So it's a nice pick for them, and yeah, also offers them a chance to, like, some teams don't pick heroes that will be able to clear ancients or take advantage of that, and you know, in this case Newbee has 2 heroes who can take advantage of that. So that might seem a bit greedy, but I think it's a good idea.
Well, the T comes out very quickly as a response to the Invoker, so yeah, definitely a lot of greed in this early to mid game, but at the same time OG have the ability to pressure with Earth Spirit, but other than that I feel like they're also playing a farming game. The Invoker mid, the Puck theoretically in the offlane for S4, these are heroes that aren't going to be roaming around early and necessarily creating a lot of space or pressuring a TA or a Sven trying to farm Ancient. So I do like what we see out of Newbee's draft because of what OG have done. What do Newbee want? Yeah, this would be a sick IO game if they want to bust out that Kaka IO and run the Nyx offlane. But I have a feeling, like you mentioned, Jack, they may just want to stick with the 4-position Nyx.
That would leave something set up for the off lane here. Off laners on both sides. Oh no, sorry, Puck already picked up
here.
here.
Go for like a just no.
Ooh, Shaker. I haven't seen much of KP Shaker, I feel. A lot of offlaners are bringing this hero out. Has been, yeah, looking at some of the numbers, the most picked hero at MDL, sporting a 68% win rate. Meanwhile, Sand King picked one less game, is 28%.
Ooh, Venomancer for
No Tail, probably?
Yeah, so that is going to be a fly Vengeful Spirit. Changing up for the 5 position. Okay.
Interesting drafts coming out here in game number 2.
Venomancer obviously pretty good for the TA. Good to scout out initiations from the Earthshaker. Kiting potential maybe for Sven.
Yeah, if the Sven just, if you see Sven's reluctant to get those BKBs early, so if you're able to connect with the Gale, it's a pretty good kiting tool, and even afterwards, it can be good as well when those durations start to go down. But I'm a little bit concerned. OG feels like they have less margin for error in their lineups. Their heroes are a lot less durable. If Newbee are able to get on top of them or chain their disables together, they could go down very quickly. So that's something to watch out for. It feels like OG has never shied away from picking these kind of higher degree of difficulty lineups, whereas Newbee, quite the opposite, will usually tend to shy away a little bit from that. They want to be solid and consistent all the time in their picks, and so we're going to see that kind of different identities here in this game too.
Yeah, I think you've really nailed it. You've got 3 range cores against melee cores. Well, TA not fully melee, but these high physical damage cores that want to get up close to you. It's going to come down to how well you can kite them around and stay away from them. And these are heroes that are going to get blink daggers. Sven, TA, both going to go for the blink initiations. Nyx is going to be jumping on you. There's a lot of disable and lockdown from Newbee, so having a range advantage is not actually going to be enough. You're going to have to outmaneuver them, and that level of difficulty you mentioned for OG to execute their draft definitely exists.
Yeah, their lineup is going to be quite the choreographed dance almost. The jumping, the swapping between the Puck initiations, the Earth Spirit and such. It's only the Venomancer who's kind of just boggy. It doesn't have a whole lot of finesse to it, really. But we'll get into action now. It is going to be OG with their backs against the wall in this series. They need to make this draft work and get the win here if they want to be staying alive in MPL. Otherwise, it's going to be Newbee who will move on into the lower bracket final to face off against LGD.
All right, Jerix has watched Afu. He's like, I can snipe couriers too. Gonna put down the courier sniping war. Needs to get out. Oh no, he's being spotted. That's not good. The jig
is up.
Should become apparent where the ward is and that the courier snipe is a big problem. They're actually pinging higher up in the lane.
Yeah, because he is still holding one ward. I mean, we'll have to see.
Not sure who. Maybe it wasn't actually a Radiant ping, but they're gonna observe a warded up.
Huh. Yeah, they get their own mid ward down just after the Sunstrike.
Interesting. But yeah, it gets a little tough to actually find and snipe that courier now for Jerix, but may still go for it. He's gonna sneak his way onto the high ground, undetected.
Well, Fly's going to be joining his side, it looks like, and they could end up chaining this together into maybe a first blood go. Pings.
SCC's pinging. I don't know if he actually saw them yet. They're around the corner in fog.
There they go. Oh, he'll get the vision. There's going to be the roll. Finds connection, but the meld is there. They actually have the sentry ready to go, and they're going to look to just walk him on back and home here. But he does pop the fairy fire. He gets a new meld. A Sunstrike. It's going to be soaked between the two. They can't quite get it.
Poison Sting.
Oh, the last second of the Sting will help secure it. It's No-Tail able to secure the first blood. Faith also under a lot of pressure, but he will be able to make it back.
Damn.
Wow, that was a nail biter. That was a nail biter for sure.
They barely got that kill. That was well played by SCC. The quick meld. Doesn't have time to check their items. He thinks he can maybe stay alive and then gets out of the sentry range, remelds. Fortunately for him, he felt like he had to move to maybe dodge a Sunstrike and ends up barely going down. And now has to lane with level 1 meld, which is not the most fun thing to do.
Well, for the safe lane Venomancer, he'll be babysat for now by his buddy Fly. With the Earthshaker in the opposing lane, he's just going to have to work his way between the camps nearby and just sniping down the CS with the Fissure. So overall, the Venomancer's going to have a pretty good clean time in this safe lane. I'm sure that pleases you there, Jack. He'll be able to kind of just swallow up into a problem. Does Fly just continue to hang here as a support and get the solo XP farm? Or do you think as a Vengeful Spirit with that kind of utility, hold that thought, there's another support already using his utility to kind of make pressure in the mid lane onto SCCC with the orb. More right click should do it. He cuts through the tree though. Jerix can't get it. The meld, the turnaround. And now it's going to cost him his own life. Well played there from SCCC.
Level 1 meld hype.
Wow.
SCC. Well, talk about this being the Earth Spirit Showdown. That's definitely a leg up for Afu as of today.
That was good. It was
Jerix
also a really
baited.
good heads up maneuver from SCCC, but yeah, Jerix did find the connection on the roll, but unfortunately the follow-up was not quite there.
Knew exactly which one tree to eat as well to pave the path for his retreat and the salving. Kaka also plays Earth Spirit, but I don't think it's on the same level quite as Afu with Jerix.
Kaka does manage to snipe the Bounty Rune. Jerix wants to give him a little piece of his mind, but will be denied the extra bit of money and is going to have to look for new options in his early game setup, it would appear. How is Gustav doing down here? Off lane, Puck. Signature pickup for him, but in the off lane, obviously a bit different than his Alliance roots.
Seems to be doing A-okay, getting some XP, getting a few CS here and there, has to deal with the pulls. Nothing too unexpected, and I guess similar to the Shaker, both getting a bit of experience, bit of CS here and there. Shaker did have the annoying neutral pull to deal with for the OG safe lane.
But it's still looking pretty sharp here for On. 15 and 8 as he matches up against SEC's 15 and 5. Actually, it's pretty neck and neck here. With SEC under the pressure of the ganks, that's pretty damn good.
Another Shaker pull. These are just lost creep waves to the Veno. You can combat this by pulling camps yourself, but that does, of course, need to happen. It looked like the big camp was blocked to the north, so...
Yeah, it took a while to find it. Stack and pull yourself. Jerix is able to leech some of that experience standing there from the high ground, and this is one way to deal with it. They can come over and harass it. And this actually changes depending on the mid laner. Like, if let's say there's a Queen of Pain being run by Newbee instead, or a hero that can really punish this, like under-leveled supports trying to contest, and this becomes a little bit different for the Earthshaker, but as it stands, it is the TA, so she's less likely to be able to come over and punish this, at least right now, before she's got her level 6 up.
It's more like a support Visage to DPM perhaps, but he's not doing great. Bottom lane, they're going for a kill. S4 mistimed the phase shift and will get stunned as a result. Dodges the soul assumption though. Nice John.
And he has a salve waiting for him. Close, but good play. Managed to live on.
Dicey for a second, but he waited till he saw that soul assumption fly before he jaunted.
Oh, he put in the extra attention towards the top lane during that time, keeping KP back a bit. You have new bounty runes, and Jerix might look for new opportunities now. Ana kind of kicking it into high gear now on Invoker. He's 10 CS up CCC at the moment. So Kaka has been kind of flirting around here a bit, but no openings.
Not the result you normally expect in this TA Invoker matchup, but it was influenced heavily by the Earthscape pressure and that level 1 First Blood, where he had to get Metal Strike.
Boulder came far, but it's a little slow, so it's hard to find that kind of connection from a good distance. And it goes back to just hiding off the radar here.
As far as stacks go, the Radiant team are going to be all about that. They've got the big stack in the bottom lane right by the Sven, and they've got just the one double stack at the North Ancient, so limited stacks available so far. Oh, they swapped the Venom mid. This is a interesting move. They really want this early tier 1 tower here, I guess. You take these early tier 1s and you actually set yourself up to... This tier 1 mid protects both Ancients. You take that, you can actually very easily contest this Ancients on both sides. It opens up new avenues to actually go in and attack those. So, yeah, kind of cool.
How much can Newbee call to this mid lane? Is it going to cost them too much to kind of have to deal with this?
I don't think they can easily defend this. Sven doesn't want to really TP. He's picked one up. He can TP in with a level 1 Stormhammer, but Venno could have taken the top tier 1. This top tier 1 was in deny. It's actually in deny range. He's going to reset the glyph mid. So now they've got 2 glyphs on the mid lane, but Venno, I think, TP'd mid because he wanted to prioritize mid over top.
Boulder Smash flies through the 2 of them there. The tower does continue to whittle down to just under a third of its life, but OG are not going in for the finishing blow quite yet.
You mentioned that good point, Parker. This is where Radiant versus Dire matters a bit too. Again, like, it's less sufficient in terms of the ancients and the neutral areas on the Radiant than Dire. It's harder to stack, it's harder to access, and harder to protect as well, that jungle. And so that could be a major factor as well. Again, you have 2 heroes that want to take advantage of jungle resources. If the jungle gets compromised early and then you have a hard time protecting it, then they're going to be behind, or it's going to be a tough time keeping them safe as they farm that. So,
with that said, he did end up backing off and not fully being capable of bringing down the tower. See if he does make a rotation back there, perhaps with a few more levels. Has set the idea in motion, though, that they can take this early tier 1, even just with the significant damage already inflicted. Sven farming well.
Yeah, 47-7. He's at the top right now of the CS game, and TA's been able to kind of catch up for a bit and trails just behind him. S4, as we saw, able to pick up his power treads, returns to the bottom lane, pushing closer to his level 5. He's probably going to be residing here until the coil's up, or he offers a bit more bang to a fight. And top lane, Fly is actually slightly further in XP than even S4 is. He's already level 5.
Yeah, he actually got the solo XP and farm at top when the Venno rotated mid.
Moves for Faith. Jerix can't find the connection on the rolling boulder, but does get it with the smash. S4 helps finish off Faith, and it will be a successful pick. And now OG are going to hang out down here and bog it out.
Well, Brotail is just everywhere helping out the team. He goes mid, tries to push the tower, now comes bottom to try and steal this big neutral stack, as well as pressure the tower. This is some selfless play.
Yeah, Jack, surely you're not happy with this right now. This is not really the Venno life you've been going into about for a while. On a mid lane, just on the chase here for Kaka. Looking to run him down with the back end of a haste rune here. Can he get the finish? Oh, Boulder Smash! Ah, Jerix.
Meanwhile, bottom, the neutral fight is fully underway. The Venno ulti went out.
Ooh, they can't commit forward, which is good because the Sunstrike was there waiting for him. Soul Assumption doesn't find its finish either. Everyone just kind of badly beaten.
Not really sure who won that. No one actually died. OG got very low, as did Newbee from the Venno ulti. Probably OG come out on top because they get most of that neutral stack and take it away from the Sven, who wants to farm up.
Some other subtle things about the OG lineup is, like, usually you'll see these, like a Ricky or one of these, like, maybe invis kind of 4 position heroes be able to plant deep vision. And look at the deep ward vision that OG have right now on Newbee's side. Like, they have basically most of the key jungle points warded, and the Earth Spirit is able to kind of acrobatically get up there and get behind vision and plant those wards. And then finally with the Venomancer, the wards last 40 seconds, so if it's not killed or if there isn't a hero there to take care of it, you can actually just block the camps yourself by putting them there, you know, anytime after the 20-second mark. And so that if you just stop one spawn, there's a good amount of value from that already.
Well, Newbee going to vacate bottom lane. Notel's going to remain there. Mugi actually TP'd to the top side, spotted by OG. So OG actually know that he is no longer in this bottom lane and that it is effectively, well, should be a free tower. Let's say that Visage TP was not probably a good call to make, and he does cancel it. Don't think Fly even needs to be here to secure this tower. This is a well and truly abandoned tier 1.
Kaka drops a ward just before Fly does, so he's going to get the intel on that vision. And he's creeping down here towards this bottom lane as if he has some sort of defensive say in the matter. Fly's pump faking quite a bit, does commit in for the stun, and that allows Kaka to make a retreat on the back of a TP.
No swap there, but OG overall maintaining a slight farm advantage. Doesn't really feel like they're on a huge time limit either. Yeah, the TA Sven are scary late game carries and looking to get their items, but you've also done enough to pressure them, stop them getting free farm and stacks. These are heroes that really excel when they have that free farm. Farm your lane, farm your stacks, get your really fast Blink, Mask of Madness, SMY or BKB timing, and just get out of control.
Some little bit of tension here on the top lane towards S4's positioning. He is level 6 now, so he does have coil.
OG have actually blocked the other Ancients, it looks like, with an Observer Ward.
Oh, you're right.
Cute little ward. Here goes Newbee towards top, sensing weakness in OG's defense.
Yeah, they go in with the God Strength right now. S4 will try to help out by pushing in forward with the orb, but overall this is going to be Newbee's tower to take, it would appear. Things are happening now, so I'm not too sure if they might change their mind. I'm looking nearby, Ana is hitting the shrine as he's jungling his way through. So I don't think he'll be looking to come at any sort of attention here. Oh, orb! Nice jaunt, but that means he's going to eat the Stormhammer. They walk in with the dunk and they chop apart S4. Fly's the first to rotate in. Now Jarek shows up. He's going to get the Magnetize out, and they're going to make a worthy trade out of the situation by finishing off Moogie.
As far as game sense there, really showing. Just knows his limit. He comes out to defend the tower. So he knows his limit. He dies there, but he knows there's going to be a response. And almost even jukes it. He dodges the fissure. He knows that gank's coming. They overcommit for the kill, and then they lose their carry Sven as a result.
SC going to be forced back to Fountain. No Tail shown up to the mid lane. And the creep has begun.
This Veno has been one of the probably most proactive farming Venos I've seen. When we see these Venos just like sit in one lane, kind of set up their territory, and just camp there, pushing their lane for as long as possible, then maybe you TP to the other side of the map and do the same thing, but No Tail's been in all 3 lanes quite extensively, as well as spending time contesting jungle camps.
They just can't, yeah, they can't do ancient stack farming at all. I mean, this is now OG's territory. The second SCCC tries to roll forward in the lane. This is exactly what happens. Now he's going to hit with the Poison Nova and the Sunstrike. And he pops his Refaction, the Orb. Oh, not going to find connection there, so he'll try to heal it up, but they do find a coil on for KP nearby. They'll come in to go for the finish, while on the other side of the lane is Jarek's forcing Moogie off his back by kicking him out. Kaka, though, is able to move in with a Vendetta and help him get the finish. Moogie still getting chased down by No Tail. They'll simply chop away the wards, but now it's Kaka moving in from behind. S4 and Fly still here, helping them fight it out, but Newbee have the Shrine. Tag 2. OG are probably going to have to step off at this point.
OG have just done a really good job. They've taken all 3 tier 1 towers, and the result is Radiant losing control of the majority of their jungle. It's not that just taking these towers, it's also they're keeping all these lanes pushed out. This mid lane has been consistently kind of meeting around this tier 2 Radiant tower, so it's very hard for the tier or the Sven to actually push out and get to their Ancients on the north side of the mid lane. The south side is also a very dangerous place, with OG having easy access, so complete control of the jungle going OG's way.
Yeah, they're spacing it out right now for Ana real hard. He can just get his little say in with the Sunstrike, but he's now at the top of the net worth here by a decent margin, nearly a 1k over SC.
He's got the entire Dire jungle to himself, uncontested.
Yep.
Not a single hero is coming his way. No one has to share the farm with him. He's got 4 teammates pressuring the entire map while he can just sit back, throw Sunstrikes, have an easy Invoker game. This is the dream Invoker game, where all you get to do, all you need to do is farm and throw Sunstrikes when your teammates ask.
Now all of OG are just corralled around this mid lane, looking to push it hard towards this tier 2. Newbee will be able to get the grab on the top tier 1 finish. What's happening over here? Ana and Kaka.
Yeah, he did scam. I think he's cornered the fact that Ana's making this playstyle happen and wants to punish it.
And it looks like they will. He rushes in with the God Strength. Will help him go for the finish. S4 steps in with Fly, gets the coil onto the 2 of them. Kaka goes for the TP, gets canceled. Boulder Smash will be there. Moogie swap back. He goes for the TP. Can they right-click him down? Yes. It is going to be an OG trade.
I like the move from Newbee to find the Invoker and actually kill him when he's playing so defensively and just free farming away, but the end result is still OG getting the return kills. The Sven dies again. It's kind of crippling for him, and I actually got a Sunstrike kill onto KP Shaker in the mid lane before that happened. That's slowing down his Blink Dagger a little bit further as well.
So 6-4, it's still Ana there at the top. No Tail could be at risk of trickling a little further down on the net worth if they're not able to kind of continue to move in on grabbing these towers at this point, or maybe falling back for the Roche, but it's Fly under a bit of pressure. He's going to get bailed out by Ana nearby. Ana does get 1 bird.
Oh, 2 birds.
Oh, 2 birds.
Jeez. That adds up.
Yummy birds.
Playing these Visage from behind is not a lot of fun when you're trying to use your birds to scout or farm and they ever get caught. They're free food.
S4 dropping the coil here onto Kaka as he goes into Vendetta. So they trade ults each way, but it's mid lane where it looks like Mookie is able to get the jump on the no-tail. Venomancer goes down.
That's an important kill. Alleviates this pressure in the mid lane. Actually, killing this Venom is probably more important than Invoker. You gotta deal with the infestation before you can worry about anything else. Deal with all those eggs and then worry about the living bugs.
I like that one. It definitely is an infestation.
This mid lane has been quite the problem with constant Venom wards there.
And OG are hoping to keep it a problem long enough so that they can have Act 2 as their Invoker to be able to really step up and take things home. He is just 100 gold away from finishing out his act. That's about 17 minutes in. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's farming well. See if that leads to more involvement. Maybe I think the Boots of Travel is more where you can get involved. Yeah, you queues that up after the Ags. Because that means you can be doing your AFK jungle farm and then TP into a fight.
Oh, No-Tail, who is trying to tickle away at this ancient stack. It is Newbee nearby, smoked up.
They want to go in.
Yeah, they're trying to set something up though.
I got scared.
Blink KP with the dunk. Do a long roll all the way over. It looks like they've spotted Kaka. And they'll get the stun with a Sunstrike, and that is a dead beetle.
Elsewhere, S4 in the dire jungle.
Slide showing a little bit here. S4 is dodging things out as KP hits that area with the fissure. He's even committing in with the coil. KP far from home on this one.
Backpacking the blink, not gonna work.
Not gonna work. Down below, they make a chase for SCCC, but he will be able to make it out. A little awkward right there for a bit, but it does end up costing Newbee a couple of lives. They're spotting out Kaka at the start of that, and they snipe him down, and KP just a bit of interesting positioning.
Good vision coverage from OG. They've got a lot of orbs up. They've deepened the map. They've got sentries to go with them. They're scouting this Nyx very proactively. Although he has only been killed once. Kaka's definitely had an overall solid game as far as not getting caught too many times and looking for S4 at top.
Yeah, S4 just jumps in now to quickly clear out the wave, but
now the sentries there. Jeez, these dire sentries.
Yeah, they are scouting everything out, so Kaka really has very few options to work with. And OG continue to throw their bodies down this mid lane. Look at the setup here from Jerix. Just immediate boulder smash, poison Nova grab. Uh-oh, dunk fire back from KP. Finds good connection, helps get an easy finish onto Jerix, and they're looking for the follow-up onto Fly. The birds start stunning down from above. Soul Assumption's there. They slow him down with a trap, but can't get the finish. And now here comes the Magician. The Tornado going to be flying out. EMP combo. And Faith will be dropped, making it a 1-for-1 from supports.
Is that another backpack blink from KP? He just blinked with poison damage on him, so I'm guessing he backpacked his blink and does that shenanigans again.
I can hear a little bit of disdain.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope this is removed before TI personally.
This is a tough phase in the game for OG. They did a good job just kind of establishing map control and just like being a dominant presence early on, but right now the Blink Dagger is online from KP.
Oh, the coil, but he ran out of the sentry range, but Jerix has got another one. He always has them.
The Blink Dagger's up from KP, and they're starting to be a bit more like there's a blink up on this Fen as well. So there's starting to be some damage from them, and again, we talked about the squishiness of the OG hero, so they have to be really careful not overextending when they try to be a nuisance here. And this Aegis is going to go a long way towards that. If they can knock down the rest of these tier 2s with this Aegis, again, they'll extend their range quite a bit, but they have to be really careful right now because the potential for counter initiation is definitely there. They can get punished very hard and just get blown up very quickly by Newbee's lineup.
Yeah. But man, OG's vision on this game and their catch capability have been pretty dang good. Already been spotted out. The last like 3 or 4 kills have all been from just OG kind of just getting that little bit of vision. And Lincoln's is going to be coming up next for Mr. Anna, who's a travel done, so we're suspecting he's going to get a bit more proactive, and we could be seeing that happen here in the mid lane shortly. It's OG back at it once again. Tier 2 down to about half of its life. They're hoping to moving for the finish here. No tail creeping in first. Yeah, gotcha. With the Gale. Jarix. Alright. Let's settle down here, OG. But they will get that Tier 2. Just spacing them out as far back as they can. So what is next for them? They've been committed at this one for 5 minutes or so. They finally get it done. Where do we go from here?
Probably these other outer towers. I mean, mid's like the really most important one. With how much it frees up the map to access both jungles on the Radiant side, but don't really see them mounting a high ground push anytime soon, but definitely feels like they want to keep fighting. So the last game where Newbee were in this position where OG just were waiting for these key items on Longdura. This game, Newbee are waiting for the BKB, Deso and TA, the Sven to get his BKB. It feels like Newbee are just always playing like from one item from behind, and I think OG want to try and punish that by taking more objectives. No-Tail's setting up camp at bottom. He's just like straight down to the Tier 2, doesn't even care about where his creep wave's at. He's just setting himself up to have all the wards around this area preemptively.
Yep. I'll just suck all this wave over here and jungle and do waves and jungle and do waves. All through the bottom lane acting as that plague. The rest of the team possibly setting things up towards the mid lane now. There's Smoked creeping in. Dire's scan just nearby towards the high ground side. It will not get any sort of positive read. So it seems like for now they'll continue to truck forward. They should be seeing Mugi going to work here at the top Tier 2. And the parade continues by Newbee. OG, you're still waiting back in mid lane for maybe someone to TP in. But yeah, Newbee are inside the base, swatting at this Tier 3. They've already got it down to nearly half of its life. And they force out the rotations.
Yeah, it's again like another kind of playing to their strengths. Is SCCC has to be careful here that it doesn't get caught, but they have a Desolator, they have the Sven ult, so they hit buildings much faster and much harder than OG do. OG are very good at pushing out waves. Pushing out waves safely as they go into SCCC here.
Did manage to catch him. They hit him with both ultis, silence him up, whittle him down.
Kind of pincered him a little bit there. So while OG may be better at kind of safely shoving out waves with their 3 cores, they are not that great at actually taking the towers themselves. So if Newbee can get it to this kind of like threaten the kind of base race situations we see Mugi did not TP back, stayed up there for this opportunity again, then they can forestall the OG attempts to kind of death ball.
Jarix can cover a lot of ground real fast. I was going to say if he wanted to stalk Mugi, he could try to cancel that TP, but he's not able to get it while back inside the base. They get a quick jump with the coil onto Kaka and take up the Nyx.
This stand up at top. Mugi's waiting for Jarix to push this wave out so he can jump him. Jarix.
The jump, the slashes. Jarix down.
And now he's going to hit the building. You need to TP back another hero. He's got 1 range creep to ferry along this top wave.
Ana steps in. We'll go for it. Sunstrike. But that's going to be the BKB TP out from Mugi.
It's a really heads-up play from Mugi. That was some really good decision-making being highlighted there. Waits patiently for the Earth Spirit to show and push out the wave. He knows Earth Spirit's TP'd, so Earth Spirit's kind of committed to defending. He can't really rejoin the push in mid lane, so he's like, well, the Earth Spirit's going to show eventually. It's kind of a game of chicken. He's waiting like long enough so that he thinks Sven is TP'd out. But this Sven was like, nope, I'll just keep waiting. I'm just going to keep sitting in fog until you show yourself. And he gets rewarded. Tier 3 tower and all.
Uh-oh. What do you think here, Jack? I mean, things were feeling pretty damn significant for OG. They grimed their way through that mid lane, but I imagine things are going to be slowing down quite a bit if they wanted to get further Tier 2s. How much longer does this go on before Newbee's late game becomes a bit more powerful with NTA?
Yeah, I already felt like there was kind of a turning point like a little bit before with the blinks up and again with like the inherent squishiness of OG's heroes, but this is something that's encouraging to see from Newbee. Again, a team like that is susceptible to this kind of stuff, is not known for playing it themselves as many Chinese teams tend to be, but the technical details they handled of that situation just now was very precise, very on point. It's exactly what they needed to do, and pretty next level there. And so that forestalled the push and got them a tower, which now gives them access to OG's shrines as well if OG are forced to clump in one area or back off. So clutch plays there from Newbee. I feel like that's almost kind of like a new dimension for them that they're able to do that.
Dimension, man. Praise, Jack. Jarix finds a move in onto KP. SCC's nearby though, and now they jump in with Mugi also. Oh, he gets quick, hard hits onto No-Tail, which will force out the swap of Fly, and now Mugi just goes through the bailout. decides to TP back it away because some of his teammates are in some serious trouble. SCCC is going to be taken down as all of OG come crawling out through the woodwork there.
Don't get hit by a Sunstrike, Kaka.
Where's that man?
Bottom lane. He's being pinged.
Invoker, there it is. Juke himself into it. Oh.
Close. But yeah, they had the... Jarex just goes in knowing he's likely going to die, but his job was just to scout heroes out, cancel their TP, set up the Invoker and the Puck to get those kills. TA tries to TP out as well. Puck just Dream Coils to cancel it, and until TA gets a BKB, it is going to be a bit of tough traveling for Newbee's SCCC.
Jarek's back in action right now, trying to be the scout. Drops down the board and tries to get some money, but Newbee, he's like, I'll take some money too then. Nice. He tried to roll away, but you know, obviously got blocked out because he already committed the boulder smash. He couldn't kick anyone away. That's all for the sake of some extra bit of intel and some ward planting. This is some of the sacrifices you make as support.
What happened to the Radiant Gem? Did they just put it back at base? Or Venom has a gem? Oh, okay, that's flies. Radiant Gem is in their base. Okay, there we go.
I feel like Moogie deserves some praise as well. He was given some of the blame before by some of the fans. May have looked a little bit uneven as some of his heroes, but I think ever since they kind of got the monkey off their back by winning Zotac and then afterwards Galaxy Battles, he seems to be playing better and better. And you saw the sequence top. You saw the very good split-second decisions that he's made, whether it's to leave the fight as quickly as possible, the block there on the Earth Spirit. I feel like Moogie has been playing better and better as well, and that's been a big part of Newbee's success.
I think all he needed was a name change. It was good.
I mean, yeah, just this game itself, he's been, I feel like, the MVP so far for this Newbee side. There's a lot of Dota to be played, and you can't just base it off one game, but it feels like, as a whole, he's really stepped up this game.
Smoke from OG, right in front of Roche's neighborhood.
And they've got the Tinker Award up here now, so to kind of spot this hiding split push.
It's been a recurring spot that Moogie is indeed.
Oh my goodness. Stay quiet.
Don't breathe too heavy.
Don't breathe.
Oh, they do have the swap. Let's say, what do they have for BKB TP? They have swap though, so bench was maybe out of range.
Slamming logs on the ground.
Just going for the double totem.
Jarex can't hear that.
You'd think so.
Does he dare go for the triple totem?
I'm kind of enjoying the irony here of S4 and a Western team being potentially ratted by a Chinese team. It's kind of very uncommon sight. Let's put it that way.
Pings onto the Sven. Mugi's been spotted. We'll see if Roshan comes into play now with its respawn. Oh, Mugi thinks he's safe up there. He's under the Tinker Wall.
They start going that way knowing that he just looks like a... Oh, did you see the blink part of it too?
They did not see the blink. They think he's just...
Oh no, he went further over. Oh, they got him kick! No!
If they got him, he couldn't TP out because he didn't BKB.
Wow.
So if he BKBs, he's like, I mean, his TP gets cancelled, he can't BKB TP.
It's just Dota for you, just that little fragment of distance that you can't see the blink. Yeah. This leads all up to that.
And there's the ping coming out of this, because I was going to say the question is now, do Newbee know about this Tinker Ward, and they have to either counter it or play accordingly.
Oh, man, the snowball of events.
Ping did come out there, so I think...
They see that orb going in, they know where S4 is roughly positioned, and they are smoked up ready to initiate.
NoTail's just going to waddle himself into a ward, but they can they burst him down before the Poison Nova? Oh, nice swap back from Fly. We'll be able to bail him out. They quickly get Fly down. BKB's popped here and coiled down. NoTail has not popped the Poison Nova yet, but are OG even feeling confident enough to be able to move in for a fight?
It's going to be tricky.
I don't think so. Newbee are just happy to go into Roche right in front of him. NoTail gets hit with a fissure.
With Venge dead, NoTail will not have that save should he get stunned. Does have a 4-staff of his own.
And he's holding the gem too. You don't want to slide in and Poison Nova. It's a very awkward spot for OG. They're doing the Sunstrike though. Not the biggest of damage onto Kaka.
Like the carapace of the Sunstrike. So
yeah.
Perhaps saves his life. Shrine is there for Newbee if they want to use it. It's just Kaka who's a bit low, but
No-Tail's going to try to pull Roche on for a double Roche. It's not successful.
10 times, both teams have great scouting tools. The Veno wards, the traps, the familiars, makes fighting come down to things like you really need to use those smokes effectively, and things like invis when both teams have a lot of vision to control. Familiars we're seeing being used. They do lose the familiars. Yeah.
So much bird hate, man.
They were silenced, it looked like, so they couldn't actually drop onto the ground.
Forge Spirits versus Familiars, two of the most annoying summons ever going at it.
Jerks gets a nice ward here.
They round all the way to the corner. Fly's going to spot them out, but they're jumping from behind. A beautiful coil from S4. They're forced to pop the BKBs. A jump in will pull out the snap. Moogie waits in his spot, then begins to go in on Ana. Lincolns will pop on one side. He turns around. The Deafening Blast tries to go into the Ghost Walk. Do they have the vision? They have the swap. Fly pulls him back and away, and Newbee try to make chase. Buyback going to be forced out now as KP tries to get back in the action. Turn around with the ice wall. Fly in a lot of trouble. They get off the stun, and on it takes to the other side. But inside the pit, it's Moogie moving in, getting the finish and grabbing the Aegis here for Newbee. Now they back out.
Such a close fight there.
I didn't even see the other half of the fight, where there was the KP dunk in return.
Yeah, I was watching the bottom half of
KP hit with the Sunstrike. He's super low, but they're not going to move in for the finish.
So hard for the Sven and TA to get value out of their BKBs. If they get caught in a coil, they can't really like BKB and do a whole lot because that Ag's coil still stuns them, and then when their BKBs wear off, they're getting disarmed by the Deafening Blast, they're getting stunned by Venge, Earth Spirit, slowed by Veno. Very difficult game to play.
Oh no, Kaka has just spotted S4 owing over to a camp. He just got a freebie. Did he?
I don't think so.
Oh my god,
Blink
one
out.
hit away. One hit away.
Close.
Now Kaka may pay for his life. Just
Feels like
Dota is a
outfighting.
game of inches, centimeters it feels like at times, whether it's ward viewing distance or just fragments of life that just allow one more right click. That is crazy.
I like that, catering to all our viewers with the Imperial and metric units there.
I tried.
You saw that kind of the weakness of OG though, a little bit like they can't really stand their ground, they have to keep kiting. In that case, they got bullied off that particular piece of ground that gave up a crucial Aegis to Newbee. And then you saw the Venomancer actually had used the Gale previously, and then he was out of mana, so he didn't have anything left to keep fighting with. So, you know, just kind of have to give ground in the wake of this, like, very strong in-your-face lineup from Newbee, and when that involves Roshan, it's a pretty crucial objective for them to take.
See where things go from here for Newbee with Aegis in hand. Does feel like an Aegis that is not necessarily going to put them in a position to change the nature of these team fights. So the BKBs matter more than anything. So if he still gets kited in the BKB, it doesn't matter if you've got 2 lives, because you can be alive for 2 lives, but you're not going to do any damage during either of them if you don't dish out damage during that BKB duration, which is down to just 6 seconds now. Hard to guarantee the control as well. He really needs help from KP, from the familiar stuns. His Orchid will perhaps help, or the Bloodthorn that's coming, because now he has a way to silence up the Invoker theoretically. There are a lot of Lincolns to worry about, so we may have to like break the Lincolns and then stun, or perhaps stun just to silence him. One way or the other, the control is going to be essential for this Sven and TA to actually function in fights.
Newbee begin to head back the way of the Roche, but as we know, it's already been acquired here. Newbee, okay, we're talking about, we'll have to see how committed they are to being able to go back on the offensive here. Still some easy towers to grab, so a move towards the mid-tier 1 seems to be in order.
Feels like a really big stalemate right now.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll maybe get a tower here or there on the outside of the base, but these towers are not as crucial anymore. It's going to kind of turn into much more of a 5-man game, and that's where like earlier on when OG take map control, it matters because Newbee need to look for farm. We're at kind of this later stages where everyone's got farm. Yeah, there's still more items to get, but there's no hero that's like, I can't actually do anything until they get this item. Everyone's got enough items to fight with, so giving up a tower or 2 isn't too big of a deal anymore. Lincolns are plenty for OG though. A 3rd Lincoln Sphere being built on S4's puck. Just Mostly recognizing that a hero like Sven wants to blink in with God Strength and stun a hero to burst them down, and just the Lincolns for the Stormhammer really can ruin a Sven's day. It means that you're relying more on the Fissure, the Totem, the AoE stuns that don't get blocked coming out from the Shaker, but this Shaker is actually he's the most underfarmed hero on Newbee's side, actually. He's effectively playing the 5 position, so he's not exactly reliable in a fight to stay alive and dish out those stuns.
Here is Jarek's looking to possibly scout things out, but he's going to be stretching pretty deep here. Newbee have come together just nearby. But, you know, still kind of feeling that bit of a stalemate play here.
Yeah.
Did he just plant that ward? A new Tinker ward? No, that was already there.
He's using it to kind of protect himself, although.
Yeah.
Whoa!
He shows himself in the lane. I think he will need some serious help to get out from this one.
He's actually didn't retreat.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're like, he surely went back, right? No, he went forward.
That was some crazy vision game there.
Wow.
Like, he showed in lane and then he backed out of the vision but didn't actually continue retreating. But either way, space and time bought for this Aegis to expire. Again, not the biggest deal that you have an Aegis for these fights because of the way the BKBs work, but at the same time, given the choice, OG will choose not to fight into it.
I planted down some new wards, new vision to see where Newbee are kind of placing themselves around the map, because OG have been kind of dodging.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And
Bottom lane, low
TP's
TP's in.
Okay. And as I say, they're dodging. Here's an opportunity to make the move in. They actually rolled themselves into Kaka. They plot down the sentry. There they spot him out. On one end is KP, on the other is Kaka. Jarex makes a connection with both on that boulder smash. KP's going to be forced into the dunk. Can they get Kaka too? No. Kaka will be able to make it away on that TP.
Sacrificial Lamb. Sven was just like, I'm out of here, guys. It doesn't look like a good fight. I think TA had already preemptively TP'd out, so would have been a very unfavorable fight for Newbee if they'd stuck around. Probably just happy to leave with only 1 casualty. Could have very well easily been 2 if Nyx had also been swapped or stunned on the TP out.
Oh, S4 bursting down the wave, goes back on the other side, and right next to SCC, who's waiting with the meld, and actually blasts him down. The coil was committed onto Kaka. Nice multi-boulder smash there from Jarex as he jumps in. We'll help him get the finish onto 1. SCC, though, is able to fend off Ana a bit and then uses the BKB timing to get himself indoors. But here's OG now, suddenly outside. While this happens, though, Mugi, he's back at that top lane. And yeah, with no tier 3, they don't want to risk it, so Ana already heads back.
Yep. We're going the distance here. Neither team has really been able to pull ahead all that much. It's slightly, like, inching Newbee's way, but a 2k gold lead at 39 minutes is not a gold.
What are we looking for? What's the big turning point here, Jack boy? I know that this is a very riveting moment in the game as each team is just clawing at each other for just that little micro fragment of an advantage. But surely we will not be stalling things out to the next Roche, right?
Could very well be. I don't think.
No, you're right. It's not the next Roche. It's like 3 Roches after that.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, you're good on that one.
Neither team really has like a great way of a safe way of starting fights unless someone's out of position. I mean, like you have the swap save from OG, and that you're seeing how much value just that's bringing to the table right now.
Oh, hello! Ana just rolls in the back of Newbee smoke, spots out KP, throws a tornado down the middle, and starts dishing out the combo. Can they go for the burst finish on the KP at the end of the silence? Oh, he's able to get off the totem, but they eventually will fall down. They quickly take faith. In addition to that, SCCC fights between the 3. Ana's literally taking it to him, and that's going to be the end of the TA. And it looks like OG are able to take this one.
Well, OG's way to start a fight is just to have Invoker run into 5 heroes and pop a smoke.
Isn't that just how it goes sometimes?
Lincoln's BKB, he didn't really care. He just starts throwing. He's like, oh shit, I'm in 5 heroes. Time to start throwing my spells and doing Invoker things. And he hits level 25 now, gets that 12-second cooldown tornado. This is before the Octarine.
Jump in, back. SCCC just bought back into this game.
Oh,
Mugi! Rushes those supports.
Those supports matter. Support lives.
That was the extra life, a bailout swap potential.
Yeah.
Kaka.
No-Tail forced in?
Yeah, okay. He has to run back. Dunk set up from KP. Looking to make a move onto Ana. Mookie can't even make his way through the ice wall. Oh my god. Now they turn around. KP very low. They might be able to get him. He pops the wand. They go back in once again for Ana, and they will get the finish there. Now they're looking to go for No-Tail. They pop down the trap. There's the Stormhammer. Moogie eventually gets close enough. No-Tail frantic for the TP, but can't make it out. It's going to be Newbee who hold the line here.
Moogie's doing some heavy lifting.
Yeah, that's
right
for
now.
damn
He
sure.
is making up for some, not so much misplays from his teammates, but his teammates the ones kind of struggling, getting caught in the fights a bit more, getting initiated on, and he's going to come up big and get these perfect initiations, and he's done it a few times. Let's forward an Invis room. Where is that Radiant Gem? Who is it on? Visage has it. S4's been spotted.
Okay, well, that dream is gone. Is it?
Well, they're buying back with Invoker.
Okay, they want to make it happen. He gets a good silence on the multiple units here. BKB is going to be coming out from Moogie, and he frantically blinks out to the high ground to hide out there for now, but he needs to wait a little bit before TP's back up while OG continue to roll on in. And at that moment, they want Envy back the other side, and they're going to look to maybe sweep in and take this Roche for themselves. And it looks like they will be successful in it. Worth?
Yeah, definitely worth. Buyback to secure that Roche and deny it from the TA. TA didn't have buyback, so if Radiant get Roshan, they get the TA and Aegis. And instead, we find ourselves with the Invoker who uses buyback to get the Aegis, and this means TA has to really live on the edge in these upcoming fights. Where's the cheese headed? KP gets given it. I mean, KP's getting burst every fight. He needs to actually stay alive, and
yeah,
doesn't have the farm really to do so, but this cheese might help a little bit.
He was able to get out a pretty decent dunk in that base defense there, but it required a lot of patience, and of course him coming back from the initial pickoff, and maybe OG just kind of forgetting it in that moment, but maybe rewarded that, and will now be fighting and defending to an OG with Aegis now, but
crazy how close this game's been and how much constant like kind of showdowns has been. Newbee took that tier 3 top tower like 20 minutes ago and have yet to be able to take a single shrine. Only just now we see OG take the first shrine of the game. So despite these tier 3s going down, it's just been neither team being able to kind of just systematically bruise and batter the opposing team's buildings.
Newbee don't want to risk it though. At this point, they are looking to crawl outdoors unless they know exactly what's going on here. But this is now OG's map to claim, and they're beginning to come together here. I'm seeing Fly with the smoke, and right in his backpack for the gem to go for maybe some dewardage.
Kaka bottom. Scouted man.
And he got him with a tornado. Ice wall. Chivas. Other tornado. Sunstrike, silence, and double forces, and Kaka's gone into a different game.
I was like,
dang.
He didn't have a force himself, so it was a bit risky, but once the teammates roll in, he was still going to okay.
And now OG shifting all the way up from that bottom lane back towards the exposed mid lane here, where the supple racks await them.
Not the easiest racks to necessarily siege.
There's Dunk Power waiting in the back lines. There's Moogie with that big-ass sword waiting. OG felt the wrath last time. It's going to be S4 jumping in, trying to get the catch on those backliners, but both KP and Moogie were not caught in that.
Okay, happy just to self-stun, doesn't waste the BKB in the coil, just says, I'm going to back off, don't care if I can stun myself, as long as I keep my BKB for a team fight. I think the big thing is, use those BKBs aggressively, not defensively. Like, when that Invoker buyback at the Roche pit happens, Sven has to BKB just to not get tornadoed and stunned. That's like a fight-losing BKB. Well, obviously, he still lives, and that was worth the BKB, but you're never going to win a fight if you use your BKBs just defensively.
Some chain stunnage here onto Ana, but no hard commitment in. Still holding that extra life after all. SC is able to get a hold of a Bloodthorn now, though. Maybe an extra good tool to have if he does get the upper hand onto OG.
2 Bloodthorns on the team. A lot of silence. A few different ways to break these Lincolns, but still always hard to coordinate all these items in these crazy hectic team fights.
OG are coming back. Down this mid lane once again, Moogie pushing out that bottom lane. OG do not have to worry about any sort of top lane shenanigans now, so they can put all of their focus forward. Moogie will hide in the lane for now. Looks like he does show himself. Are OG going to make an immediate jump play here? As they wait smoked. It's a very delicate time. Now Moogie comes in. That's when S4 has already jumped in the mid with a coil. Jarek's rolling into action, actually spots Moogie, who's going to be forced to BKB. Now has to hide in the back just a bit. Icewall going to be committed. Newbee still tuck themselves right by the racks. OG get it.
The defensive BKB you don't want to see if you're in Newbee shoes. Always want to use those BKBs aggressively as you blink in.
I don't think they have detection on the ground yet, so he's running circles around Newbee at the moment here. But that's Kaka moving in, getting a brief stun onto Ana here. But Newbee, I don't think, have the defense to be able to stop this roll of OG at the moment. KP does have the dunk, is maybe to look in the lineup to shot in hopes that OG might be sleeping at the wheel. But it's just quite a hurdle here to be able to make over for Newbee.
For Newbee, it's let's wait out this Aegis. TA doesn't have buyback, so a risky fight is going to be end of the game for them, and losing a lane of racks doesn't actually put them at that much of a deficit, so there isn't a big incentive for them to defend that mid lane of racks with a full-on risky initiation. It's better just to wait out the Aegis, then look for a fight. Invoker now won't have buyback for a couple of minutes, but similarly the TA buyback is a bit cautious, but they're actually going to immediately smoke as the Aegis expires. They smoke up, knowing Invoker has no buyback, knowing that one good team fight could win them the game.
OG is totally spread out right now, so if they get to jump on anyone on OG's side, it might only be for one.
Doesn't look like they're going to find anyone. They even have a few heroes just reveal themselves to push out the lanes.
Jarek's the closest target of Newbee at the moment, but he's been blinking through the trees, hiding out, TPing away. He's just kind of continuing to force Newbee to dance around a bit.
Yep.
So at this point, this is where we're going to be in maybe a little bit of a lull here, guys, because we have the May respawn in 2 minutes for Roche, but I don't know if OG have enough to be able to close things out without the benefit of having that extra life and doing a slow siege and everything like that.
Don't think so. The slow siege with Aegis seems to be their best approach. Huxing is 25 soon, maybe. Maybe he starts seeing some late game refreshes.
Oh, Ana found a couple of supports himself down this Deathman's Alley. He hits him up with the tornado, and the rest of the combo will help them guarantee the finish. It looks like onto Kaka, but no, Kaka holding on, able to get off the carapace, and now they're rolling onto Ana. They're trying to burst him apart. He runs off to the side, but it ends up being taken down. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Now Moogie jumping into action, tries to get a hold of No Tail, but he gets slid over the Fissure and away from trouble. KP, though, is on the other side and begins to beat him down a bit. The dunk's going to be committed, and he swats down that Venomancer. On the other side, it's a chase for S4 and Jarek's, the only two remaining members here, as Newbee do manage to get the upper hand. In a situation where it was actually Ana who was rolling right in, and I thought he was going to get an amazing opening.
He was doing that without a buyback. It's coming up soon. It's not the full 80 seconds. It's 20 seconds away, so it doesn't look like Newbee will be able to break high ground without the buyback, but they may consider forcing it. Veno does not have his buyback, though.
Did he buy out that Lincoln's or Yasha recently?
He's close. He's 60 gold away, so with the gold ticking, he might have it in like 30 or 40 seconds. But we'll see if that's going to be forced out or not. I mean, one of the two, which would be the Invoker, I guess, is likely to be forced.
And they've definitely got to at least force it. And they kind of go back to, again, like almost like trench warfare a little bit, right? They're just kind of stalled up and both not that eager to go. A big contrast from how Game 1 was played, just based on the arrows.
Puck flying across the map.
He got the orb.
Yeah, you can see it actually coming to play there.
Whee! See you later.
Ooh, Korea.
But here comes Newbee for the first time since their cheesy split rat tactics are moving back inside OG's base, and they're splitting it right down the middle. Look at that. It's going to be SC going to the top lane and putting in the work, while Moogie takes it to the mid lane here. And OG just take a huge, hard loss. Just like that, it's 3 racks down. Oh, Coil in? No, not on anybody. A frantic chase trying to catch Newbee members, but coming up short.
Yep.
Oh, maybe. Have faith in getting faith. Looks like they will. They're going to give the bird the business. Pops the pipe. He's like, you better work for it, boy.
Still a game where it kind of swings a little bit back Newbee's way, but the fact you don't use buybacks, it really always feels like in these 50, 60, 70-minute games that holding buybacks matters more than a lane of racks, even 2 lanes. Not until mega creeps do you really feel like, okay, we should probably buy back to defend and stop those megas from happening. I think OG are happier just playing with buybacks than they are playing than trying to like play from like down a couple lanes of racks. They don't mind those racks being down as long as they have those buybacks.
Yeah, I think what they figured there is if Anna ultimately decides to buy back, something goes wrong and he dies, they just outright lose the game. So I mean, it's hard to, yeah, like they're still down 2 melee racks, but again, it's something that they can definitely deal with for the time being. And ultimately, they cleared that whole mid lane, so it's not really a big deficit for them, and they'd rather just have the state where he has the buyback if necessary.
If it was like 4 racks to 0, perhaps it's a bigger deal, but yeah, that mid lane equilibrium will control itself. You've got super creeps or super creeps going down that mid lane.
Newbee gonna have mercy on Jerix? Looks like he will.
Roshan about to respawn. We'll see if anyone is going to be eyeing that one off. Buybacks are plenty at this stage, just some supports are missing. The buyback. See, Venom buys an item, he gets up to pieces of a Manta. Interesting. He does that. Oh, okay, gets it boosted travel, that's what it is. So no buyback on No Tail. Risky, but...
Yeah, I guess he's hoping that if he gets in a fight, commits everything, then he's done his job. Life number 2. I mean, if it's a long fight, maybe he could include a second Poison Nova, but...
Does have a swap save and a cheese, so if he gets low, he may even be able to continue fighting with that cheese. Gets his tomb, so he gets his level 25, the triple HP and damage on his Plague Wards. And yeah, so all the 5 of the cores and 25. Shaco, he's not anywhere near his. He's not even really a core at this point.
OG moving in the pit, begin their work onto the Roche, but Newbee are not far. Oh, jumping coil from S4 immediately onto SCCC here. Oh, No Tail steps in with the Poison Nova. Doesn't find good connection. Doesn't really look like it connects onto everybody. Follow up magnetize. They're looking to spread out as much magic damage as they can, but I don't know if OG can get a hard commitment on this one. Jerix is trying to dish out the extra stun power. But it is going to be a nice pick off onto Mugi there. KP, though, sets up with a beautiful dunk. SC steps in, helps get the right-click finishes. Immediate buybacks are going to be coming out now, too. S4 jumps in, gets out the silence, and Newbee are swinging within the side. OG over, back at the Roche pit again. Just get the buybacks on cooldown right away.
So Sen went for a backdoor play bottom there.
Yeah,
I didn't see how it started, but I just saw his deathbed, and he died bottom lane trying to split push and wrap, but OG prepared for it, reacted to it, and managed to get back, kill him, and save the last lane of racks, which was crucial. While not really losing the fight all too badly. It was a nice echo, but it ultimately just kills support, so I think OG will be very happy with the outcome of that fight.
Yeah, they can put themselves right back inside that pit. Looks like they will score the Aegis here.
This is going to go No Tail's way, I imagine. He's got the slots for it. He's also able to buy some more items with the Aegis in hand.
Nice. Big grab for them. And Newbee take it back to pressuring the side lanes as fast as they can. And what do we have slotted up? The Lincoln Sphere here's for Sven. He's got lots of money,
okay.
But he...
See where that goes?
Running that around. On is on chase, but... This fast orb is not going to spot him.
Okay, gets his Ags. Sold something to get there, but having this now for some high ground defense could be nice for them. But smoke from OG, they're going to look for another pick of their own.
Yeah, all the way up and through the top lane, it looks like for them to at least push this top lane back out. But I don't know if they're using the smoke to really try to set anything up. Just maybe safely move across the map.
Yep, could be the case. This buyback list, Sven, is a big concern for Newbee. Potential initiation. We haven't really seen that much of the swap initiation, but that's something that could also come out. You like Dream Coil into a swap. That's a good way to get a guaranteed long duration stun onto him.
Yeah.
4.5 seconds worth of Scepter stun. Be a very powerful way to initiate a fight.
So how can Newbee do everything in power to be able to defend long enough, Jack, so that Sven can have that BKB and alive for the next fight? Oh.
No, I mean, I think just what they've been doing, just keep the waves pushed out and just be methodical, be patient, play around the edges. I mean, this is just a very different kind of game from what we saw before. It's like a very technical game.
Yeah.
You've got to be consistent, not make those big mistakes. It's not one of those, obviously, run at them type of games at all. I think they've done a pretty good job so far with having the right priorities, like responding to each situation. So I think they just have to hold the line on that front.
And obviously OG are looking to take it to him. All that buyback is going to be down here. They're already outside the base of Newbee.
Game plan. This is sending a bird to backdoor the bottom racks with a Sven TP. This is the game plan. Yeah, it was yellow. It was Moogie pinging it. Like, send something there. I will backdoor this.
All right, the familiar begins its long journey all the way up to the base here. Can OG...
Oh, Sven's been hexed though. He's been ganked. Caught outside the base. What you doing?
Oh, pull back, grab, move in. They're trying to blast him for Moogie. Does manage to get enough force power to make it back inside. The Sunstrike hits him. He barely lives on with just about 100 life. Oh, can he run it back all the way inside? It looks like he's going to be good. Back on the fight. Orbing inside, SC looking to blast it down onto Jerix here. Jerix gets the force out, and a boulder sends him back home packing.
Backdooring now bottom.
Here it comes. Moogie TPing in with the bird, begins to take it into the racks with the glyph. Immediately forced out. What's happening back in mid lane here? Jerix dying. Slideshow Dota. Newbee running right through him. I think people are dying here. Bottom, it's S4 trying to push in through the lane. Moogie's still here.
I can't believe that Sven actually lived. That was insane. Fight still goes on. Anna's actually going to turn around here. Invoker combo coming out. Just crippling damage.
Tornado back, but they are going to be able to get the finish to S4. He promptly buys back out. This time Newbee, might be in trouble. He is able to get to the KB.
No TP.
Stuck in the coil on his here now. They get the swap. They get the mass stun. They get the finish. He's going to be taken out of this one. He has no buyback for 3 minutes.
See how much damage can be done during that period. There is still some fight potential for Newbee. They may just be able to jump and find a pick despite not having the Sven, but there was some crazy stuff at that fight. The Sven getting caught, so I think he was so focused in on that bird going to the dire base that he just didn't keep track of his hero's position, because he got initiated on by a hex into a coil, and then the swap guarantees the coil break. And if it wasn't for like a double or a triple 4-star from his teammates, he would have been well dead there.
Here we go into the later innings, gentlemen. An hour mark now for game number 2. Newbee already with that game 1 advantage here. It's elimination series. So OG obviously fighting it for all they got right now. Feeling like it's their game that they worked so hard for. Having so much momentum going at the start of it. The Newbee have been able to claw themselves back with some fun strategic tactics here. It's now going to be OG looking to move inside from the bottom. They still have 50 seconds with no Sven here. How's KP's dunk? It's up and at the ready. The move could be made, but they get the force out on the Ana. The coil move-in's going to be made, and now the Poison Nova does pop out. Deafening Blast as they force him back out. Magnetize is also going to be there. Can't quite get the finish yet, but the Sunstrike will be able to help to get the takedown of KP. Now the buyback's going to be there, and he can come back in with the dunk ball. SC shreds apart No Tail. This could force OG to step off a bit. Tier 3 still standing strong. SC moves in with a Hurricane Pike, but the follow from S4 could be there. Long ball fissure. Ana trying to run in, but quickly hit to the face from that TA. Second guesses it. It looks like Newbee are going to be able to hold. Oh, long jump dunk onto S4. They will get the finish of the puck. He's out for 2 minutes without a buyback. And OG run to the hills.
Man, and Newbee may not know it, but this Veno does not have a buyback as well with spending all his money in the Manta.
Oh my god, Moogie found Jerix.
Can he chase him down?
Oh, he's trying to get hold of him here.
Oh, the trap. Doesn't see him.
Barely doesn't see him. He's able to roll all the way down to the corner and make it away. They even tried scanning for him on the other side. Still didn't get him.
This is probably mega creeps though. SCC will kill the shrine on the way, get some extra cash for everyone, but they do have to be a little bit careful, as TA does not have buyback. Sven has his in 45, but with no Venom, no Puck, this looks like the full mega creeps. Not that it's a game where OG's going to GG out at megas.
Hard jump in from Kaka. He goes immediately into his burrow form, and they swap him back in even deeper, and they're just going to take him out of the fight. Yules, though, or are they? I might have spoken too soon. While he's back there causing a bit of chaos, that's when Moogie begins to move in. He will shred apart the racks, and OG are having a real tough time deciding on what to commit for here.
Kaka just destroyed them. I don't know who forced him, but whoever forced off him Radiant side is a hero, or for someone OG, they just kind of screwed them over, because Invoker just refreshed Justice and ultimately Sunstrike around there. I think he maybe ran into mana problems, I'm not totally sure. But they fully throw everything on a Nyx assassin that they don't even kill.
Do you think OG can do this, Jack? They're down Shrines, down Raxes.
Well, with Mega Creeps, it's a little bit different. I mean, they're not the best at defending that, and then like they start to have the issue that we worried up before, right? Like if they got caught split pushing, they'd get blown up, and that'd be an issue. And now they have to keep the creep out of the base without the right tools necessarily to do that. If you look at the Venom's build, his item progression has been a little bit behind. I think most of the game for the most part, because he's just been so active, like trying to fight or disrupt the newbie jungle. And so, whereas if you see like more of a bigger carry Venom build, let's say he's got a Butterfly, a Mjolnir, or a Satanic, then in terms of pushing out waves, it's a little bit better. But he's not really well suited to doing that right now with his current build, and that could be a bit of an issue for him. The Plague Wards, I guess, are a nice addition to that, but they have to both keep the waves out and avoid getting...
Whoops.
Yeah,
someone messed up their chat, Will.
Yeah, that was funny. I was giggling. Everyone, so suddenly OG, or not OG rather, Newbie came together and said, it's time to go in. All of them hitting the chat wheel charge.
I don't know how Noto got the memo, because that was all... Oh no, he didn't. It's a disaster.
Yeah, a disaster came out from Moogie, and then No-Tail responded, and you know, chat wheel's always a great thing. Special moments like that just wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Gabe.
Yeah. It's like 63 minutes in, you've played this long, stressful game of Dota, and then suddenly... you had some clown music. But, whew. Yeah, I kind of agree with Jack. This game gets very tricky with the megas. I think the time to go for OG is actually now, while TA doesn't have buyback. Gonna play the numbers game. Don't let a chance for Newbee to reset, to settle, to secure Roche.
Come on, Firewall, for what could be the final hurrah. Bear with us as best as you can. Jerix is just rolling all over the place as I say that.
Full Sonic.
Okay. I guess we may not get so lucky on that front, but Newbee, great positioning here, waiting towards that high ground.
Yeah. What is the call? Jen is sitting around this bottom lane, wanting to pose a consistent split push threat.
I feel like as the bigger, stronger creeps come on the map, that's when the Super really seems to suffer here, but they shove off. They do not want to cross the river yet, does Newbee. They have so much pressure coming in from all the other lanes, they can just wait it out, man. Wait it out till that top and bottom lane are just tickling inside the base. Even Moogie just getting down and dirty by putting his illusions inside as well. So that is going to force No-Tail to definitely not be a part of this mid lane engagement. And he's only going to be requiring more assistance, I'm sure, from others as time goes on. So OG, what to do? Lots of tough decisions to make at this point if you're OG.
They're just being pulled apart. The Sven sits bottom, sends Manta illusions, clears waves, the familiars go top. Very annoying stuff.
Newbee playing this one out very well.
I think No-Tail will actually catch most of the familiars, at least at the top lane.
Good catch for them. It's a little bit of breathing room, so now OG can almost get back to where their shrine used to be. And they're TPing in on as well. Sunstrike to scout out the Roche. Nothing yet. Newbee's super patient here. You can tell they're not sporting the body language that they're trying to wiggle into the pit the second that there's breathing room. They're waiting until there's certainly no chance of turnaround. That they can get this Roche and get out with really no trouble at all.
Notel's picked up this level 2 booted travel, so he wants to be the kind of dedicated base defender and then just have a TP into base as needed. Same for the Invoker with the level 2 travels. Invoker it's a bit different because he's 6 slotted, 7 slotted with the Refresher, but the Eveno did have to invest a lot considering he's actually not all that farmed. He's still got a Veil, he's got a Cheese in one of his slots. The Manta's like a decent late game man, but not an amazing one.
Alright, more OG. Show up to play. They have the lanes pushed out just a bit, that they give a little bit of a timing window to make this kind of a play. A roll in from Jerix. They've spotted out the TA inside. She pops her BKB. The fissure though comes out onto Ana, and he doesn't want to commit his first BKB just yet. Pulls back. Tornado onto the little pile of dirt.
Kaka holds ground. These 4 stops onto his Burrowed Nyx have been critical.
Keeps mana burning, man. Keeps mana burning. S4 could be in trouble. The dunk was committed, but the swap pullback might have just bailed him out. And S4 will be able to get back in a way. But look at Moogie. Look at Moogie.
This is some frustrating Dota to play against, let me tell you.
And OG are just kind of split down the middle on this one, deciding between if they can move in and contest the Roche or who's going to be going back and defending the base. This is infuriating. For OG, at least, it's almost a taste of their own medicine. Back at Alchemist Illusion Gaming, though. Monster Orb from S4.
Notel's trying to do with his Manta illusions. Playing some of that illusion Dota, but it's no avail just yet. Ana's Refresher back up, ready to look for big combos. He is the player to look to. For OG to need to win some big team fights to turn this game around, Ana is the player who has to somehow find the perfect Invoker combos on grouped up here. The problem is he keeps getting mana.
Oh, like a ravage there.
Ooh, big 3-man stun. SCC was happy to oblige with some good damage on that follow-up. Coil on the response. Honor looking to move in, trying to combo it up onto Kaka here. The BKB saving him from the Carapace stun. Puts his focus onto SCCC, who's able to get the force. Bump out the other direction, and now the turnaround. Going to be coming back inside. Fisher to lock him in place. Moogie has showed up and just starts to take him down. Quick, immediate buyback is going to be there for Ana, but it's for defensive purposes inside the base. S4 will get battered apart. No, Ana now shows up in front of the pit, throws the tornado in, but they are short on people and resources. This could be the back end of this. The Roche goes down, the Aegis is picked up, the move has been made, and they're hustling on in to get a hold of Ana. He frantically looks to run, but the Fisher's there. This could be the end. They lock him into their place. The Stormhammer, they're shoving him back home. He's able to get off a new BKB, turns around with the tornado, with the combo onto Faith. Jerix and Notail doing everything they can to throw their bodies into the wake of fire coming in from SCCC as he pressures them back inside. OG getting hit with everything that they can. It's going to be Moogie getting the slash finish. S4 is out. 1 down, or 2 down now with Fly. And OG stutter step their way back inside their base. It's just tier 4s though.
This may be it. Aegis, Cheese to play around. Newbee also still up there buybacks.
Yeah, they got the stun onto Ana. They're going to be able to move it in. They followed up with a bit more firepower, and they are going to put the nail in the coffin. This one is over. Newbee have taken out OG 2-0 and will move on into the lower bracket final to face LGD. What a ridiculous game. Nearly 70 minutes.
Quite